I cannot enter. It's locked. I cannot enter. It's locked.
Tomorrow, more bodies will arrive and then sadly depart. Like managing a train tunnel.
It's locked, all right. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof! No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I'm not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chadana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all...
Do you think you would...
I don't...
Please show me what you...
Of course.
It's locked.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana. I cannot enter. It's locked, all right.
I'm not going to make wait, Doctor. I have patients to attend. Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few... And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
If you could point me in the direction of my...
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your...
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has bet...
Apologies, I've...
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon.
Thank you, Nurse Crane. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet, with all the money, and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
What's going on between you and...
Pippa's tired.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything. And it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Doctor.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they...
I cannot enter. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed.
I see.
I'm Harvey Fiddick.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid...
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed?
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can... Tell me about yourself, Mr.
I'm just a regular guy waiting...
I was more curious about...
I'm a carpenter.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both...
What do you mean? Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Oh, sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doctor.
You seem worried about the safety...
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction.
I'm sorry for your loss.
I would like to...
How are your children?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Ellen didn't bring them with her that night.
Goodbye.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Good evening. I'm Dr...
No, I don't want to.
I suppose...
Yes.
Could you at least...
Mortimer.
How painful is your throat?
So painful.
I'm sure you realize...
Not really.
I see.
Yes, maybe.
How painful is...
So painful.
I'll let you get some rest, then.
I'm all right.
Good evening, Mr. Gott.
I'm a...
Tell me about your...
I don't want...
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate.
Good evening, sir. Doctor. So many deaths. And still more coming. How can we be sure we're making a difference?
As for me...
Good evening, madam. Can I help you? I'm Dr. John...
I'm bit...
What can you tell me about your...
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all...
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes. thanks to...
May I ask if you have...
I'm a teacher.
What do you think of your...
I have had...
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the...
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital.
The ambulance driver was quite rude.
What do you mean? She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question.
I share your concern, Mrs. Gott.
I don't expect
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Nurse.
Good evening, Doc.
And I'm Doc...
Well...
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free to...
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you a...
The rules say I won't be allowed to work...
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect...
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients.
Nurse Hawkins...
I wish I could...
You must... How long?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins.
Sorry, Doctor.
How is the Pembroke staff?
Well, not well.
Why is...
Milton's not the kind of...
Why does Milton...
I don't...
How would you...
It's serious.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who...
Your name has...
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, Morgue?
You keep...
Well...
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only...
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy.
I'm not speaking of the doctor.
I see.
Thank you,
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what
I see.
Never. Delusional, you say?
Please, describe...
I can hear...
I'm assuming you must...
It's only a...
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft?
Is that not enough for you?
I'm curious to know who you were before.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't...
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark.
Disgust on every street corner.
Good evening, sir.
Unless you're here.
I'm Dr.
You guessed.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular?
Nobody since the old and tired doc.
You don't seem worried.
My face hurt.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a...
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about...
No offense.
You were an officer, weren't you?
How close are you to Miss Hawcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if...
She's quite harmless, I can assure you.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not?
She could
And it's another good
You do realize...
In her mad...
Goodbye for now, Mr. L.
I wish I could be sick again.
Damn,
Blood boil with the fever.
the pain. It's here again.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed is...
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious.
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair...
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill.
People are still in...
How could it be otherwise?
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior.
Why did he...
William was an alcoholic. His addiction so...
You dared to enter this...
I'm just a man.
What is the general situation in the...
The situation has always been tough.
Who leads the gang?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had...
How do you feel?
I feel exhausted.
You're in good hands here.
Thank you, sir.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks.
Are you a priest, Miss...
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith, willing...
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop?
That's a very strange question, Doctor.
Have you made friends?
Not really.
You never came...
You're preaching to the...
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later. It's locked, all right. Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before. at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett's, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell.
He was also very confident.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good.
Tell me more about Cherish.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated.
You really seem to admire her skill.
I'll go even further.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve.
Ah, yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
What is
This hospital...
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital...
Don't be misled by appearances.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. It's locked. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. The flower's dying. It needs water. The flower's dying. It needs water. The flower's dying. It needs water. William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun... is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood? The flower's dying. It needs water.
Come on, I don't have all night.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Sorry. There's nothing here.
Some of the patients won't last the night without them. Honestly, sir, I'm beside myself.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Yes?
Exactly how bad is...
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his society contacts for money.
Why then do you...
At the Pembroke...
Your dedication...
We staff...
Lack of...
London's...
Please, could you...
It's the large...
That's all for now, Nurse Craig. I cannot enter. It's locked, all right. I cannot enter. Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. It's locked, all right. This key will surely grant me access to the basement. These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood. Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. It's locked. It's locked, all right. It's locked. Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked. It's locked, all right. so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting. Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage. Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed. Still working at night, I see.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more...
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
That man was determined to murder you.
What a surprise. First...
What did he want?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favour.
You're a monster, Mr. Cox. An ungrateful and disgusting man.
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
How is your hospital?
This is just shit.
What's wrong?
That bar...
I see.
The nurses aren't...
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on.
But you're alive.
What are you
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid.
And who?
I'm the lead.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox. Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about...
He was my patient.
What was the nature of...
It was a twofold error.
Why not stop practice?
Are you...
Who was this patient?
I don't know.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening. Did he
Oh,
I see.
You must...
How are things here?
Not...
An invisible enemy?
Sorry.
Do you think this...
We are...
I'm not familiar.
Brilliant, perfect...
Most...
It would...
Is there...
Well,
why should his...
I guess it...
Nurse...
No.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him...
Dr. Tippett...
If you're...
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did.
I know his mistake caused a patient.
If I had not covered up his...
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your
Look around...
Perhaps you did it with the best intention.
You mean you've...
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippett's, shall we say, misdemeanor.
I'm so glad you share my point of view. Dr. Tippett's is a brilliant...
I hope you're right. This is a huge risk we're taking.
Doc...